In Wizard101, we are going to be attempting the Health Nuzlocke challenge. This is an arbitrary challenge that I created for myself because I like challenging myself and you guys like seeing me in pain. Today I'm going to be creating an ice wizard and I'll fill you in more on what this challenge looks like once we get into the game. If you've been following my content for a while, you would know that I've pretty canonically dissed on the ice school and how much I don't like it. So you might be wondering to yourself, why did you create an ice wizard? Why are you so stupid? What are you possessed by? And the answer is Lydia Greyrose herself. I have an ice wizard because, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner, I have 500 HP, which is the most any other school starts with at level 1. Today's challenge is going to be quite simple on paper. Any damage I take is going to be final. In Wizard101, you go through spell combat like usual. You get a turn, the enemy gets a turn, and you go back and forth casting spells and trying to defeat your opponents before they defeat you. This challenge is going to aim to kind of make that 10 times more difficult for no apparent reason. Any damage that I take on my character is going to be completely final. Now, I know what you might be thinking, especially in the early game, you could very easily circumvent that fact by just leveling up, because whenever you level up, your health, mana, and energy all replenish to full. I am going to be using the lock your level feature, and only after every street will I be able to unlock this level and thus replenish my health if I get to the end. Currently, my goal is honestly just to complete Unicorn Way, even maybe just one of the 3 streets in Wizard City, but that is going to be pushing it because, again, this seems like a very interesting challenge in my opinion. Without further ado, let us lock our level, and yeah, any damage we take from now on is going to just be permanent damage. So let's hope that we go first, or that our enemies have a severe case of Storm School Syndrome and just fizzle every spell. Okay, so we went first and we pulled an imp, which is guaranteed to kill these guys, so that's really good. I'm going to do my best also to avoid these health wisps. I might just subconsciously run into them, but if I do, I will keep a tally of how much HP I lost, and if it reaches or is greater than my 500 that I have, then I will just abracadabra delete my character anyways, because we don't cheat on this channel. Well, there's an ice spell already, so I permanently lost 95 HP there. Not looking good if you ask me. That's a lot of our HP. That's like almost a quarter of our HP. But alright, let's go back to Private Connolly. Yeah, we are still stuck at level 1. Normally you'd level up at this point and reach level 2. But again, we are stuck at level 1. Let's avoid that health wisp like it's the plague. Skeletal Pirate, here we are. Alright, we risk it for the Thunder Snake, baby. Thunder Snake rep. Storm School rep. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Never let me down. Mwah. Okay, there are health wisps everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I can spot with my naked eye. There we go. All right, now we're already on our way to Lady Oriel. I am going to equip this ring, even though it's not going to give us 10 more HP. I'm still going to equip it. Something you don't think about with a challenge like this is how hard it is to actually not collect the health wisps. Because, like, look, these guys are everywhere, dude. Like, I can't walk 2 steps on the sidewalk without looking my enemy in the eyes. There better not be health wisps in here. Okay. I was gonna say, I was gonna get real salty about that, not gonna lie. Alright, we have 182 overflow experience, which I'm pretty sure we'd be like level 3 by now, which I've never done a challenge like this, honestly. Like, this is so interesting to me. Jeez, like, you're actually playing like freaking, like, I don't even know, dude. You're playing Dead by Daylight against these health wisps at this point. Alright, Dark Fairies. Let's go first, pull a Thunder Snake, and max roll it. Okay, we went first. Let's power the Thunder Snake, and let's have it do more than Let's have it do more than the minimum.
It did the minimum?
That's wonderful. And of course, she powers her Fire Cat. Okay, okay. Ouch. We're down to maybe like half HP almost. Not looking that good, but at least we can defeat this Dark Fairy. I'm actually really concerned for when we get to Rattlebones, because his natural hit does a lot, and I mean a lot of damage, especially early on. I'm really worried about that, but all we can keep doing is just powering through and hope that Rattlebones makes some big oopsies and doesn't actually remember how to cast spells or fizzles them all. Unlike us, we never fizzle, and we max roll this now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, we have about 300 HP to work with for Rattlebones, which sounds really bad on paper, but maybe we'll be able to get around it if he, again, fizzles, or if we're able to kill, like, the fairy on turn 1 with a Thunder Snake. That would definitely give us an advantage in this fight. because again, after we defeat Rattlebones, we'll be able to unlock our level, because it will be the end of Unicorn Way. None of these can one-shot. Oh, I forgot to take out the freaking pixies, dude. Okay, the Dark Fairy will be dead next turn no matter what. Okay, he didn't fizzle. Oh, that's really bad. A Death Trap is honestly really bad. I think at least in this tower, yeah, that didn't do full damage. So we have some sort of like innate resistance in this dungeon, which is good. Boom. Okay. I can deal with almost 300 HP against Rattlebones. I'm fine with that. Unless he casts his natural hit right now, in which case we might be, no pun intended, boned. This is still going to do a fair bit of damage. This is still going to do, yeah, 6, 7. Please don't leave. I'm sorry. That was really bad. Okay. If this max rolls, this can kill him. And we would be saved from Rattlebones, so maybe a max roll here? Is that a max roll? Get out! Get out! Get out, buddy. I know that's technically the end of the street. Chill. I'm gonna unlock my level once we get level 5, because I feel like that's appropriate at that point, because there's no actual combat that I'm doing until the pet trainer in Old Town, which at that point your wizard would be level 5 and you'd have access to your 2-pip. I will unlock my level when we get level 5, and I'll also go to the bazaar and see if we can purchase any gear that just maximizes our HP, because that's really what we're going to be looking for here. Freeze! Holy smokes, we got freeze, baby. No way, you shouldn't have. I mean, honestly, might be worth it to like cheese some wait. Is freeze actually going to be their strat here, now that I think about it? Because if we freeze them into a snow serpent, that will kill like most basic enemies. So I really thought I was cooking with this strategy, and for the most part, it was pretty solid, except for the fact that the freeze stun spell card has the same accuracy as Storm's basic hits. So this will very quickly become an issue. You will see as the footage continues to roll as we try this strategy. But if you're trying to replicate this, especially on an Ice Wizard, it's okay. But firstly, not every boss gets stunned, because why the heck would your spells ever work in this game? And yeah, the really poor accuracy definitely is a hindrance, especially in the early game when you're trying to make swift progress with this challenge. Yeah, it has really poor accuracy, like storm spell levels of accuracy for some freaking reason. Because like 90% of bosses have... Oh yeah, let me unlock my level here so I can train that. Whoopsies. All right, there we go. Level 2. Level 3. Okay, it goes level by level. Level 4. Wait, why didn't I... Huh? Why am I stuck at level 4? What? Why am I stuck at level 4? I am just as lost as you are, and I have absolutely zero explanation for why that happened or why that works the way it does. If you didn't know, by the time you reach the enrollment quest in Wizard City, you are supposed to be level 5, and even the quest itself tells you that you are now powerful enough to employ and use 2-pip spells. But for some reason, if you lock your level and claim it all at once, it took me level by level and then just didn't give me level 5. So I spent the next 10 minutes doing side quests in Unicorn Way and a bunch of other places to try and get to level 5, and then came back after I had gotten level 5 and then went to the bazaar and purchased the best health gear that I could. Alright, with every last scrap of gold that we had, we managed to get completely dripped out and got some basic gear that basically just maximizes the amount of HP we had. Again, I didn't have that much gold, but yeah. We're going to do the pet quest, and then unfortunately you automatically regenerate HP while you're in Old Town, so I can't exactly stop it if we do lose HP until we get the Cyclops Lane. But I'm going to do this quest real quick to get the pet, and then once we get into Cyclops, I'll lock my level. I actually think I'm going to start with Triton Avenue, because pretty early on in this story for Cyclops, you actually have to go back to talk to Cyrus Drake, and being in Ravenwood, of course, would make us gain HP. So I'm actually going to start with Triton, because I think it's the furthest street where you have to actually go back, I think, because it's only after you free Susie from the Harvest Lord. So, and then we lock our level, and no more HP gain for the rest of this street.
I'm lucky you came along.
Yeah, I think our strat is we're going to try and freeze them into a snow serpent. And worst comes to worst is I fizzle that, which of course I fizzle the first one I try and do. But I can just cast Snow Serpent second turn anyway. But alright, that's 65 damage. So we have 690 left. Snow Serpent. The worst would be if I fizzle this one too. Like if I fizzle the stun, I fizzle this. Because that's just free extra turns the enemy gets to rain hellfire on me. Which we don't want. So there's one haunted minion. Beautiful, you love to see it. I didn't actually realize ice would be, besides just having a lot of HP, but ice actually being one of the goats for a challenge this specific. Like, who would have thought? Ice actually has a use case. Damn. Alright, so we only lost the HP at the beginning there, because we didn't get to go first, but yeah, let's talk to Arthur.
And I think I can get to the bottom of this.
Hello?
You don't know. Is
Oh.
that everything? Good. Please don't bother me again.
Damn, okay, my bad. I was like, why is Cyrus showing up in my DMs though? Now these guys are where it's gonna get scary, because Storm can, of course, output a lot of damage if left unchecked. So hopefully we get these off. Yes. And at the game, let's keep going first, because when we go first is when we succeed. Well, damn. Well, damn. Now I actually gave him room then to, like, lightning bats if he has it. Oh my god. That's like a third of our HP. Alright, freeze into a snow serpent. No need for difficulty here. Also, crazy how I powered the freeze from earlier, and then when I go to cast my snow serpent, the game's like, nuh-uh, you thought. Alright, now I gotta talk to Vlad. And I'm pretty sure it's just the Scarlet Screamers and then the Harvest Lord, which I don't know how we're gonna do the Harvest Lord on 300 HP, let alone, that's like a best case scenario if the Scarlet Screamers don't hit us. For now, we are going all in with this, and the Scarlet Screamers are going to be an issue because they're not gonna die to one Snow Serpent. So I think we're gonna Ice Assist into the freeze, into the Snow Serpent, and hope we max roll and have no issues there. Because these Scarlet Screamers actually do know like Myth Trap as well, and Troll, so they can also output quite a lot of damage if left unchecked. Maybe it's their turn to fizzle. You know how many times I got a fizzle? Maybe it's their turn. You just gotta speak things into existence sometimes. The universe is listening, guys. The universe is listening. Okay. It's not a myth hit, which is slightly better, but still, that was a max hit spell. We need one more Scarlet Screamer. She just has to fizzle. 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 It's a myth hit too. Okay. We're not dead, but we are permanently now one shot, and that's a max roll Bloodbat with a Myth Trap. We can tank a low roll Imp. That's about the best I can do. At least let me go first. At least let me go first. Okay. Okay. I stun the Rotted Fodder. And because the Harvest Lord can do like an Ice Shield on himself. I stun the Rotted Fodder. And then the Harvest Lord either shields or passes. Shields or he passed. Okay. I Ice Assist the Harvest Lord and Snow Serpent the Rotted Fodder. Hear me out here. I'm cooking. Let me cook. Let me cook. Because I can stun the Harvest Lord. He just needs to fizzle. He needs to fizzle right now or pass again. Okay, wait. Okay, and then I stun him. I stun him into a Snow Serpent, which does no damage. But it buys us a turn.
Are you sure about that?
He's stun immune. So he fizzles or low rolls an Imp. Okay, he can low roll this. Low rolling is fine. Okay, now he needs to fizzle again. He needs to fizzle this again, and I need to max roll this with a boost. He needs to fizzle again, and I need to max roll this. That's not a max roll, but 170 is still okay. That was... Oh. 101. How cinematic. 101.
Oh, look Looks like you were defeated.
So
Use the red
we had
return button
1,000
to
overflow
lower
experience. So
rank
if we unlocked that, what, we're level 7? Yeah. If we unlocked our level, we would have been at level 7. And of course had more HP. So yeah, I mean, we got all the way to the end of Triton with that challenge, with those rules. So if you guys would like to see me perhaps do a modified or another attempt of this with either the same like bare bones rules, or perhaps maybe giving myself like strikes like I did with my life challenge, I can do that as well. Just let me know down in the comments. This video is almost a continuation of said life challenge video. So if you haven't watched that, I basically attempted to complete all of Wizard City without fizzling a single spell. Definitely go recommend checking that out. After this one, definitely lots of twists and turns in that video, much like this one as well. Let me know what you guys think about a part 2, again, a future challenge, maybe with some modified rules. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna have for you guys today. Thank you so much for the support recently. Again, you guys keep showing up for me. I love you guys the most. And yeah, stay awesome. Stay tuned for more awesome videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.